A lot of people know the theme from Band of Brothers, but I wonder if a lot of people realize that it is a song with lyrics right there. It's called Requiem for a Soldier. But the miniseries Band of Brothers made the tune internationally famous. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. So we've got some veterans news this afternoon. The Eccleston Sanborn American Legion Post 202 had a dream to create a local park in the city of Sanborn that would honor the country's U.S. military veterans. It turned out to be a much larger endeavor and will become available to all veterans. The park sounds spectacular. I wonder if it's still on schedule for a finish at Memorial Day this year. But there is a new memorial park going up in Sanborn, North Dakota, which is just to the west of Valley City. And one of the gentlemen who is behind the project is Joe Pesek. And he joins us on the line this afternoon to talk about the memorial and how we can honor our own vets in our own life by helping out the memorial. Joe, good afternoon. Welcome to KFGO.
Good afternoon, Dan.
So, Joe, describe the memorial. What is it going to look like?
Well, right now it consists of a concrete slab that is 50 foot in diameter, and it is built in a hexagon shape. And in the center of that, there will be a smaller hexagon, about 15-foot diameter, and in the center of that will be the 30-foot flagpole that will have the American flag and the MIA POW flag. And around that flagpole, there will be 6 park benches made of black granite that veterans' families have purchased, and they will face the monuments that we have all our veterans' names engraved on, and there will be 6 of them displayed on the hexagon. One for different branches of the service. We had to have 2 for the Army because about half of the Army veterans in the park were members of the Army. So that they'll be made of Mesabi black granite out of northern Minnesota. They'll be 78 inches high, 36 inches wide, and 8 inches thick. So I think they're going to be pretty impressive.
It sure sounds like it. Joe Pesek joining us. We're talking about the memorial that is being erected in Sanborn, North Dakota. Joe, are you guys on track for a Memorial Day 2021 finish?
We're going for the 3rd of July.
Okay.
Yep, that's our dedication day. And it's kind of a momentous day today. We sent off 578 names to be engraved in these monuments off to a place in Minnesota just this afternoon. And we've been working on that for quite some time to get it all correct.
That was going to be my next question is how has the response been? But before you tell us about that, tell everyone how they can get the veterans in their lives honored by what you're just talking about there. How do they get their names in the memorial?
Well, the cost of that is $100 per name, and you would have to send the veteran's complete name. That would be first, middle initial, last name, which branch of service they were in, and then you could send that to Sanborn Veterans Park, P.O. Box 84, Sanborn, North Dakota, 58480.
Okay. P.O. Box 84, Sanborn, North Dakota, 58480?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to repeat that several times. So that's going to be the Sanborn Vets Memorial. And I'll make sure that I repeat that a number of times so you'll have plenty of chance to grab a pen, and we'll drop that in a few times before we're done here today. So with that, and you're honoring all these vets, how has the response been so far as you're getting the word out about this park?
It's really been overwhelming. Much better than we ever anticipated. A year ago, it would be, I think, in January of 2020, we received our first donation, and so we started the planning at that time. We thought we could hope for 200 names to be put on there, and now we're at 578, so you can kind of tell we're surprised and very happy about it.
How many?
And
How many can go on there, Joe?
we built this large enough to keep adding monuments, and so I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where we're going to run out of room. So
Great, that's fantastic.
We designed it from the get-go that one of our members, who was a Vietnam veteran, said, unfortunately, this country likes to get into wars at certain times, and he said we better build it big enough. So
that's great.
And so we did, and we designed it with that in mind, and there's room for the future.
Joe Pesek is joining us. We're talking about the new Vets Memorial that's going up in Sanborn, North Dakota, July 3rd finish date. So why did you decide to put up this memorial in Sanborn?
Well, it first started out at a Legion meeting in 2018, and on that night I had no idea that this was even in the mix. And our adjutant for the Legion, Jim Drong, he stood up after the meal and said that he owned some property in the city of Sanborn and he would like to donate it so we could put up some sort of a veterans park or memorial to honor veterans. And he had a couple of pictures of different parks that he'd been to, and he said he'd like to see it go on. And there was some discussion about how we were going to do it and how it would be ended up, and he sat down and he said that at his age he couldn't handle starting a project like that. And so I went home and thought about that for about 3 months, and I was the youngest one at the Legion meeting, and I called a couple of friends of mine and said, do you think we can do this? And they said, well, let's give it a try, and that's how it started.
How about that? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, Joe.
That is absolutely correct.
So, Joe, can anybody honor the vets in their life with
yes.
this?
Yes, anybody who wants to do that. We have, I've got phone calls from daughters out in the West Coast and Michigan and around where their dad or uncle had been on there and stuff like that. And those are always pretty touchy phone calls, and so it can be anybody.
How do we get there off I-94 if we're going west on I-94? How do we get to the Veterans Memorial in Sanborn?
All right. If you turn off on the Sanborn exit, and I do not know that number right offhand,
okay.
You would head north, and you would go 3 miles, and you would come to the stop sign of Highway 10, and you continue north about a half a mile over the railroad tracks, and then you go another block north, and it'd be right on your left-hand side.
So it's right on the main drag.
It's right on the county road going through Sanborn on the west side of the town. Yep.
Okay, great. Agriculture, a huge part of the Barnes County economy. I'm from Barnes County, and many of the veterans that live in the area come from a long line of farmers who are instrumental in growing crops that are sent to worldwide markets, and very proud to have that opportunity to be able to give back to the area through agriculture. A statement from the president and CEO of Columbia Grain International. What those guys do to you?
Oh, they gave us a very nice donation. Yep, that was great of them. Darren Bjornson out there is the manager, and they jumped on board also and gave us a donation. And well, the paperwork was laying on his desk. They farm out, for a better word, the safety at their elevator, and that's an outfit out of Kansas. And the owner of that safety company out of Kansas said, who are these guys? I want to meet them. So we immediately sent 2 of our committee members down there, and they gave us the check for $1,000, and he didn't even know who we existed. So
that's fantastic.
It's just one of them days that things come together. So,
well, I tell you what, if you would like to have the veteran in your life honored for all time as part of the Eccleston Sanborn Area Legion Post 202's new Veterans Memorial in Sanborn, North Dakota, here is what you do. You just send their correct full name to the Sanborn Vets Memorial, Post Office Box 84, Sanborn, North Dakota, 58480. So once again, Sanborn Vets Memorial, P.O. Box 84, Sanborn, North Dakota, 58480. It's $100 per name. Correct, Joe?
That is correct. Yep.
Can you buy anything else? Can you get a bench? Can you do anything else if you want to?
Right now, what our design was, we never advertised for selling the benches, or people just wanted to donate them, and we had room for 8. So that's about where we're at right now.
Okay.
If people would want to donate to the park, that would be just great. We do have a granite monument that's going to list the people who donate $1,000 or more. Their names will be engraved in that granite monument. So that's something that a lot of people have participated in, and it goes from we call that the silver, and it goes from there to the gold and to the platinum. So,
Joe, would you want to put your phone number? I notice you've got it posted online a few places. Would you want to put your phone number out there today in case anybody wants to call with questions?
Sure, that'd be fine. And that is 701-490-0226.
Hey, honor your veteran in your life. Maybe you've got more than just one. Maybe you have a couple in your family that you'd like to honor. You can have their names live forever at the Sanborn Vets Memorial. Once again, that's P.O. Box 84, Sanborn, North Dakota, 58480. Joe, you're doing a really wonderful thing. The dedication is on the day before Independence Day, July 3rd, correct?
Correct.
Hope I get the chance to see you there that day.
Well, I hope you do too. And, of course, we know your dad's name is on there.
Oh, that's great. Don't take me down there. I get misty.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe, so much. Appreciate it very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Joe Pesek, who is one of the men behind the Sanborn Vets Memorial. Again, it's P.O. Box 84, Sanborn, 58480. You're listening to The Drive on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.
You're listening to The Drive